Hello and welcome to the I Love You Bet podcast. I'm Heather and this is my sister,
Rian. Each week we will revisit relics of our childhoods using our multiple master's degrees
to critically evaluate the crap that consumed our misspent youth. So join us,
sisters, latchkey kids, cuspers, and lazy feminists as we look back at our past to say, I love you, but...
Hey, sister, other than spending time with me, how'd you waste time this week?
I finished another book called The Dollhouse that was written by a person whose last name is also Davis. That's all I can remember. It was good. It was about this hotel in New York City that women lived at during, like, the 50s and 60s and things because, women couldn't live alone. I don't know. Whatever. So it goes back and forth between like 1952 and 2016 between like these women's connected through the hotel. And it was good. It was interesting. There was some twists, some turns.
Cool.
So I finished that. Now I am bookless for the night, which is sad. So I'll go to the library and get new books tomorrow that I have waiting on hold for me.
You just sleep.
I could also just sleep. So I did that. Tried watching another show, another kind of British mystery show called Marcella. I did the first season and that was pretty good. But I started the second season and had to stop because it was about like child abduction. And I can't hang with that because it's too close to home. So.
Oh, you'll never find out what happened to Marcella's baby.
Cricket.
You don't want to know what happened to Marcella's baby.
Oh, did you watch it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not going to say it'll ruin it for other people.
Oh, okay.
So I discovered that my wasting time watching Chernobyl might have a new meaning for work when it comes to people playing power games and making rules that have no seeming reason and being in charge while not having the actual experience. So that'll be real fun to see how that plays out. Can't wait for our nuclear meltdown.
Are you just going to spill toxic waste everywhere?
Yes, that's our plan.
Is that how you're going to do all that?
We have to acquire toxic waste. It's a metaphor.
Oh, got it.
And I went to Oklahoma City and I saw the Edith Head exhibit at the Oklahoma City Museum of Art. And Ryan was there too.
I did that too.
Yeah, even though we lied to her child so that he wouldn't be jealous. Because he is a huge Edith Head fan, so he really wanted to be there. Huge. He would have been fucking furious.
So mad. He'll never forgive me.
And the Olympic Games are going on. We also played a little bit of spy games, searching through our uncle's house to see what we could find, and found some interesting things. Not necessarily what we were looking for, but I feel a little more comfortable just selling things and not worrying about what might be hidden in them.
Yes.
Family
Anything
secrets.
hidden is so well hidden that if someone buys it, they probably won't even find it.
They deserve it because I don't have the energy. And we wasted time trying to watch Shag, which is not legally available to watch, and even illegally, we couldn't quite make it happen. So, in the spirit of the Paris Summer Olympics and Edith Head, we changed the movie. So this week, as a departure from our Summer Bullshit series,
possibly breaking the rules, because I realized I don't know that I did watch this in the 80s. It may have been the 90s, but
I never watched it. So we watched Funny Face.
We went rogue.
Which Rian has seen many, many times, and I've never seen. But we learned that Edith Head did the costumes with Givenchy, of course, doing Paris collection. So I also learned that Audrey Hepburn was 6'2".
Yeah,
she wasn't.
I learned that I would be a great docent for a museum because you can just make shit up and people believe you.
Yeah.
Because if they're listening to you talk, that means they probably don't know.
Right.
And if they're old, they're not going to Google it.
Right.
So, yes, when our lovely little overheard
neurodivergent docent,
a neurodivergent young docent, talk about how Audrey Hepburn was very tall. In fact, he thought she was somewhere around 6'2". I immediately was like, that is false, and Googled it. She's 5'7".
Mm-hmm.
And then what was the other thing? Oh, yeah. And then he lied about some show that I have seen.
Yeah.
It's like, that's also not true. So it's nice to know other people out there just make shit up too. So that's good. I feel good.
So that's how we came to Funny Face, which Ryan has seen many, many times, but probably not in the 1980s, which is also why I don't know, I just never saw it. I'm not a huge Fred Astaire fan. I'm quite honestly not a huge Audrey Hepburn fan. But I'm a huge Stanley Donen fan. So as soon as I saw that he directed it, I was super excited. And what I remember about Funny Face is that Ryan really wants that wedding dress. She really, really, really wants that wedding dress if she ever has a wedding.
I mean, a little less now that I'm pretty much not going to have a wedding. But yes, at one time in my life, was the wedding dress.
Yes.
I remember everything else.
Yes. And then I remember that as we were starting to watch Funny Face the other night, which we watched together and tried hard not to react to, and then had to wait several days to record this podcast and not bring up. So hooray us. Ryan said, we're sponsored by carbs. And that just made me laugh a lot.
I know. I sat this morning and watched our uncle eat his healthy keto breakfast or whatever, and then I was like, and I'm gonna have a plate of donuts, of halves of different donuts that all have the same flavors but in different varieties.
Yeah, I got too many chocolates. Sorry about that.
Never apologize. There's no such thing. It's not a thing. It doesn't exist. So yes.
Also, Ryan decided that we have a new motto, which is save it for the pod. So we're not allowed to be funny to each other, interesting outside of when we're podcasting.
As I kept saying that while we were watching the movie, one of us would try to quip, and then we also discovered that doing the initials of save it for the pod is just as fast as saying save it for the pod.
Yeah, we timed it because we're nerds. I felt like the opening of this movie had a very Devil Wears Prada feel to it. There's a lot of like Miss Prescott going into her office and people following her and little duck wings. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she's quite as scary as Anna Wintour.
No.
But yes, I mean, I don't know okay. Are you a yes or a no on being surrounded by absolute sycophants?
I'm a no.
You're no?
Because you said being surrounded by, and it doesn't matter what I'm surrounded by. The answer is no if I'm surrounded by it.
Okay, but if you went to work and everyone who worked for you was just an absolute sycophant and everything you said. So basically the opposite of work now.
Yeah, I would hate it more than what I have to deal with now.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, would you like that? You wouldn't like that, would you? Donald Trump?
No. I want people to genuinely. Yeah. Yes, Miss Prescott. Yes. Oh.
I think it was the guy that came up with 7 Habits that said if 2 people on the team have the same ideas, then one of them is unnecessary. So I kind of feel that way when it comes to working environments.
No.
Yeah. Was that a hookah on Miss Prescott's desk? Looked like one.
Maybe I thought about that too.
And the whole Think Pink thing.
Yeah.
I just kept thinking about the commercialism of breast cancer awareness and research.
Why haven't they taken that song?
Huh? What?
They should take that song, but go ahead.
No, they shouldn't, because it's a terrible thing. Men don't have to wear a color and brand to get their research done. It's bullshit. I don't like
Well,
it.
I would say it is like, because there is criticism out there that it is so highly funded and so visual and so researched when it's like not even, it's like to the detriment of other forms of cancer as far as like awareness and funding and research and care and things like that. So
Healthcare is awesome. I love it.
It is. You know what? It's not. It's not wonderful.
I thought that up to the Think Pink song I wrote, so far this movie is a goddamn delight because I was trying not to have a whole lot of expectations of it.
Up until the first 5 minutes of the movie, you were like,
yeah, then it kind of lost me. But there were pieces of it I loved. The very Stanley Donen pieces of it I liked a lot. But yeah,
I think that Miss Prescott, her character might now be my favorite, actually, watching it this time.
Mhm.
Like, I really enjoyed her. All the costumes, like all the clothes, all the costumes.
What about them?
They're beautiful. I love them all.
Oh, okay. And like you do realize this is an audio medium. Like
I
you have to.
I know. They have a lot of pizzazz.
They Bozazz, baby.
Okay, is she saying pizzazz, but the people who did the typing are typing Bozazz?
No, she made up a word and she
Bozazz.
says it repeatedly. Yes.
Yeah, I just always thought she was saying pizzazz.
No.
But then watching it with you on subtitles and it said Bozazz with a B.
Mm-hmm.
That might be my new word.
If this were Mean Girls, they would have been like, stop trying to make Bozazz happen.
She'd be like, fuck you, I'm the editor of a popular fashion magazine, you little bitch. Like, I make everything up.
Did you remember that the bookstore is called Embryo Concepts?
I did not remember that, but it's pretty awesome.
And you watched this and believed that many people could look at Audrey Hepburn with a bad haircut and wearing a Cinderella outfit or whatever and not see Audrey Hepburn
wearing a potato sack.
Yeah. Like,
well, yeah. I mean, they probably should have put a pair of glasses on her just because that's the universal how to make a woman unattractive.
Sure.
Is you put glasses on her. But yes, I mean, yes, of course. It's like, yes, why? I think my face is funny. No, it's just you're 1,000 times more beautiful than every other person. Which is really funny too, because you posted pictures of our grandmother today.
Yeah.
Like when she was a model?
No, that was when she was a teacher, but she was a model when she was younger.
Okay, because like I was very confused and I was like, she's a very handsome woman to be a model. Like,
She was very pretty for a person in her 30s. Like,
oh no, she was very pretty. I was like, and then thinking in the context of this movie and people being like, I can't be a model.
And then you see pictures of our dad and you're like, well, how did that happen? Because also, anyone, well, I'll put it up there, but my grandfather was like eerily good looking for the
I don't share this opinion, just to put that out there.
Personality that he had.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What is psychophysical parallelism?
No. No, they were just putting words together. No. And empathicalism is just empathy. There's no empathicalism. It's just empathy.
I know.
So stupid.
I know. He's like, I empathized that you wanted me to sexually assault you.
Yes, yeah, he did. And I felt like I should be more mad about the stolen kiss. But then when they attempt a hostile makeover, I sort of forgave the stolen kiss because, oh my God, leave her alone.
Yeah. She got real, like, she deserves to have some PTSD from her, like, first two experiences with these people.
Yeah. I did not like it. And then so the whole song. So first of all, there were no songs in this movie that I liked. Let me just say. I mean, "It's Wonderful" is a great song. Whatever. I don't think that's really from this movie. I'm pretty sure it was written before this movie because it's Cole
No.
Porter, right? Google it. I'm pretty sure it was written before. Anyway, she sings that whole song. She's like, "Well, I didn't know it, and then I got kissed, and the kiss did this, and the kiss did this, and the kiss." And I'm like, "That kiss did that."
Yeah,
'Cause
where have I been all this years? How long has this been going on?
that man was super effeminate and just stole a little peck from you, baby girl. Like, I don't believe that kiss did all of that. It did not have Bozazz. I do not believe it.
The kiss didn't have Bozazz?
No, but I gotta say, Audrey reminded me a lot of Rory Gilmore in this. A lot. She had some Rory Gilmore energy.
Huh. Okay, I'm seeing that. Yeah.
Watching this movie, I noticed that Rian sang every song.
I mean, some of them are really popular songs.
I was reminded that Paris is very hilly and has a lot of stairs.
Yeah.
Because Fred Astaire was dancing on a lot of stairs. How do you feel about that beatnik club? I got some strong feelings.
The Beatnik Club? I felt like it's very similar to going to the casino with all the smoke, but I would rather hang out with those people because at least they're French.
I hated it a lot. Starting with the woman outside who was like, blah, slap, kiss. Like,
yeah, who's like yelling at the man and then he slaps her and then she's like, oh, I love it, shut the door. Yeah.
no.
Should we give a little synopsis of this movie for anyone who hasn't?
No. Figure it out. Watch it or don't.
For Flashdance?
If you like fashion, watch this movie. If you like Audrey Hepburn, watch this movie. If you like dancing, watch this movie. Don't expect it to be the greatest thing you've ever seen, but you'll enjoy yourself. You'll have a good time.
It's fun.
If you want to see the origins of music videos, watch this movie. I felt like they were very happy and very dancey for beats. It didn't feel genuine to my understanding of beatnik.
That while she's doing that weird ass fucking dance, no one is paying any attention. Like, which I thought was pretty interesting and true to the, like, oh, you're over there doing this weird dance.
Yeah.
Including when she like passes out in those people's laps and they just kind of like keep having a conversation. Because I feel like if someone passed out in my lap, I wouldn't just like continue talking.
Be so very French about it.
Yeah, be like so laissez-faire, if you will.
Yeah, no.
Why did you hate it? Just because they were so you didn't?
I really don't like beatniks. I really, really, really. They're like hippies and beatniks are the same. They're just hippies that take a shower. Like, nope.
That makes them automatically slightly better, though.
Okay, but
what is
hippies
it?
are the fucking
it's like
worst.
West Coast division of annoying people.
I think they had hippies in New York, although they were mostly in the West Coast.
Yeah.
Like, if you take so many drugs you can't remember to feed yourself, I don't have an interest in whatever lifestyle you're choosing to have. Like, no. If the political college kids have to come and feed you, you're not a person, you're a dog. And you're not a cute, fun dog.
Yeah, and
You're
if it's not because you're on a
up.
hunger strike, because you're trying to like change something.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It was really fortunate for them that their like taxi drivers were all American.
Yeah.
The great American tourists. Like, these people are not French. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know the thing that made me the most mad that I almost brought up at dinner last night? Because I was still thinking about it.
What?
Number one, that day when they were all mad at her because she wasn't there, but nobody told her she's supposed to be there. That's like my worst nightmare. Number two,
Yeah.
he told them he would have her there by 10 a.m. and then he told her she had to be there at 10:30.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah,
Fuck
I was
that
thinking,
guy.
like, this is like, first of all, why are they not all staying in the same hotel? Like, obviously, this trip doesn't have a person in charge of planning it, because there would have been like that, whoever that secretary girl is who like goes with him to buy the wine and is calling the airport and can't spell Orly or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, if maybe she was the one in charge, because this was not how you would expect a trip like this. It would be like, here's your itinerary, everybody's staying in the same hotel. Like, that's not how that, no. Yeah. So not, we're going to call you in the morning and tell you you're supposed to be here.
Yeah.
So, but also, like, to be fair though, she was there to work, so how she thought it was just like okay for her to go fuck around in a cafe all day.
If nobody told her where to be and when to be there.
She took to that model life real fast.
Well, I mean, they just quit feeding her and then they could make her pliant. She could do whatever. I did like the mad is easy, hurt and disappointed. It's so tough because that would always be the thing that would get us with mom is like, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. It's like, oh
yeah.
Like,
But I love how she's like, and mad. Like,
yeah.
Like, it'd be great if mom would just say that. Like, one thing I thought of, this is going back a little bit, but when they're in the dark room and he holds up that giant picture of like just like her eyes and nose and her mouth.
Yeah.
I was like, moisture. Like a fucking like face from Doctor Who. Here's your giant face. If we take away all your other features, aren't you pretty?
Mm-hmm. Mom sat down and started watching with us at one point.
Yes.
And she audibly agreed with something that I wrote down, which was that bullfighting scene where Fred Astaire was dancing with himself was just artistic masturbation. Like, there was no reason for it. That was so stupid.
Yeah, like, how did his apology song turn into him doing a fucking...
Look at me. I mean, I think we know how that happened, but...
Toro. Artistic masturbation. That's a really good phrase for that.
And then I guess this is from the part where she started modeling. I wrote, she looks like the princess from the Never-Ending Story. So there was a part where she had like a pearl thing in the middle of her head or whatever.
Yes, she 1000% did. Very, very much did. I always think about, so thinking about mom fighting, or mom watching this with us, during that dance scene, I'm always reminded that mom taught me a costume trick that in dance movies, they will give them different colored socks to draw your eye to their feet.
If they're the good dancer.
If they're good dancer, yeah. So like how her outfit, or how like, how like Danny Kaye will have like pink, it had like pink and yellow and brightly colored socks and White Christmas and stuff like that. So that was like a, because like why their pants didn't go down to their legs or whatever, go down to their ankles.
I hate it when my pants don't get around my legs.
My God, it's the worst. Like finding pants that go past your ankles, like impossible. But I ranted about that last time, so I won't talk about that again.
Okay.
Oh yeah, what mom said was that whole dance was just to please himself. I wrote it down.
Artistic masturbation.
Yeah.
So Stanley Donen, who directed Funny Face, directed a ton of movies. He did Seven Brides for Seven Brothers and some other ones. He did Singing in the Rain.
Okay.
And then he did two of my favorite comedies, which are Charade, with Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah.
And he did Bedazzled.
Oh, did he really?
Yes.
Mm.
And so that's what made me think. So during the photo shoot, I felt like the photo shoot in Paris was definitely the most Stanley Donen of anything that happened, where he had like the still frames with the color pops and like the still frames popping across the screen. And then I just need you to know, because you've watched this movie so many times, you know the part where she throws her arms up and there's that headless statue behind her?
Yeah.
We have a replica of that statue in the atrium of our old main building.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take that picture. Take that picture. You're like, stop. I can't stop. I don't want to stop.
Yeah.
Yes. So
That was pretty cute.
she's just adorable in
I'm
this
not
movie.
sure that loveliness and ethicalism are compatible. I'm just going to put that out there.
Loveliness and ethicalism? You can't be lovely and ethical?
I don't think so. The way they were talking about how to be lovely in that song, How to Be Lovely.
How to be lovely. They could also call that song Toxic Positivity.
Yeah.
You just be happy.
Uh-huh.
Like that's what that song. Like, oh, you want to be lovely? Just be happy.
Maybe
just
it's
smile.
just maybe feminism and being a whole person are just not compatible with being lovely.
Just smile. It's fine. Everything's fine.
And then when she goes to the cafe in the Givenchy, I was like, B, you cannot be wearing Givenchy at that cafe. Like, get away.
I know. Like, get that out of there. All that smoke up here. Like, what are you doing? Nah.
Yeah. Yep. And then I don't know what happened, but I just wrote, she needs to say goodbye to this photographer fuckboy. And then I wrote, hostile vibrations in quotes. Which I think if I ever go on a dating app again, I think that might be my little caption under my photo. Hostile vibrations.
you have hostile vibrations?
Yeah.
I don't know why I wrote this down, but I said, I think from now on, whenever Ben and I fight, I'm just going to start singing a song about bullshit.
That's a good idea. Tig Notaro with her wife, she does a thing where if they have a fight, she's like, first date chat. Because, like, you know, when you go on a first date, like, everything has to be cute and funny and whatever. And you would never be like, are you seriously going to leave the house looking like that? Like, so she'll, like, tease her wife until they're doing, like, first date chat instead of fighting about nonsense. So,
which is how I always can tell when people are on a first date. So,
yeah, it's true.
When they were at the church and the whole world
time?
The first time.
Okay.
When the whole world went so soft focused that I thought I had glaucoma.
Yes.
Like, that's not even soft focus. That was glaucoma focus. Like,
yes.
That was cataract focus. Like,
that was, oh, girl, put that sugar down. No, have some water. Wait,
what? What did they do to those pigeons that are just like not moving? Like, they're like dancing all around, and the pigeons or doves or whatever they are just like hanging out like, like they drug those pigeons.
Quaaludes, yeah. Is Betty Garland around here? We need to borrow her drugs.
They quaaluded the quails.
Did I say Betty Garland? Judy Garland. Is Judy Garland around here? Like, it's Betty Garland. I'm very tired.
No one. I don't know.
I thought when he was dancing with his guitar, it reminded me of The Parent Trap, which was cute. But then I was like, why aren't we watching The Parent Trap? The magical moment waiting for us, which I put in quotes, disgusting. If anyone ever said that to me, that whole line is the equivalent of using the word lover. Like, magical moment waiting for us.
I like that the man she ended up with said he's about as interested in your intellect as I am, and then she's still
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what are you interested in, old man? So did either of us actually look up the age difference?
No, I didn't even bother. Like, whatever. It's so stupid.
I'm going to look it up. I've looked it up before, but I don't remember.
And then when she was like sorry that she hurt him, I was like, girl, you did not hurt him. Maybe you wounded his fragile ego, but that is not the same thing as hurting
No.
him. Like, and then at the same time, he literally says she wasn't worth fighting for. Now, granted, later he goes and he runs and he makes the grand gesture and whatever, but like he said the phrase, she wasn't worth fighting for. Like,
you ready for it?
Yeah.
Audrey Hepburn was born in 1929.
Okay.
Fred Astaire was born in 1899. He was born in a different goddamn century.
They could have been born 2 years apart and been born a different century. Shut up.
30 years. He was 30 years older than her.
Yeah. I have one last note on this movie.
Okay.
Mom left early, and I was like, Mom, don't you want to stay and see what happens? How could you possibly guess?
How could you know? I really enjoyed the noises that little car made.
They were funny.
I thought that was like a really fun touch. I did like when the Professor Foster was like, I thought you came from Greenwich Village, which basically was like, I thought you were a slut.
Yep.
Oh, and then I did like the desk clerk when they called and she called the hotel and he's like, oh, you just missed him. And she's like, go get him. And he's like, oh, okay. Oh, and he like didn't move. Like he didn't go anywhere. Like I was like, finally, they have the French people acting like an actual French person towards Americans.
We deserve it.
We do deserve it. But like, very like Willy Wonka, like, oh no, Mr. Dick Avery, no, don't, Also, they have very fast healthcare in Paris because he like got hit and went to the hospital and got stitched up and met up with his friends in the turbans and got to the airport, like all during that time while she was having a fashion show. So that was interesting. Also, fashion shows with just one model sound really boring because then you have to wait for them to continuously change.
She had an army of people changing her, though.
True. But yeah, all those clothes were just everything she wore, every costume, down to Fred Astaire's belt being like a tie that was like tied on the side.
Yeah.
A little her on the boat. I hope they didn't eat that fish.
You know that they have fashion magazines, though, where you don't have to listen to bullshit like The Magical Moment waiting for us.
That'll be lovely. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-doo-da.
I just think it's fascinating to me that you've watched this movie so many times.
I mean, I really do feel like it's just the visuals of it. I think, like the costumes in France, Paris and the 60s. I have a lot of nostalgia for that time.
I'm going to make you a movie playlist of like better versions of all of Funny Face. You can. And maybe it's just Jules Zigem. Like maybe you just need to watch Jules Zigem. I
do think it's interesting, and I brought this up to you, and we didn't come to a conclusion, and we should ask Mom, but because growing up, there were fashion magazines in our house all the time.
Yeah.
And I really love that part at the beginning where she was like, it has to do something. If it's going to come into the household, it has to contribute. And I was like, yeah, like it has to contribute to our really poor mental health and bad body images.
And the fact that we had no college fund because people were buying fucking magazines at the checkout line instead of getting subscriptions to them or getting them from the library or stealing them from friends or anything else that would have been cheaper.
Well, at least she tore the perfume out of them instead of actually buying perfume.
Ryan Davis was reading a fashion magazine at the spa yesterday. and was like, cover me. And I had to start coughing so she could rip the perfume ad out of the magazine so that I can put it in our mother's stocking for Christmas. End of story.
She did. She'd pull it out and then she'd like roll it all over herself.
Mm-hmm.
She's funny. But yeah, but she hasn't purchased fashion magazines. Like she even for a while went to where she would just buy the October issue, the September issue. What's the big
issue? I think
issue.
It's the September issue.
Yeah, and she doesn't.
I watched a documentary about it, but I don't remember which
one of those fall months. It is the September issue.
I did I was going to say this. Hold on. Let me find it. Clothes for the woman who is interested in clothing. I was like, oh, good. It's a movie for me. That was a fucking lie.
Also, like,
this movie was not for me at all.
Yeah. The women of America are just out there waiting for me to tell them what, like, they're just all standing there naked, waiting for that magazine to show up, telling them what to put on. Just
Bozazz, baby.
Bozazz. And I do like that they stay true. That it's like, why aren't you wearing pink? And she's like, I wouldn't be caught dead. You know, so just like how designers usually don't partake of their own designs. But yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested to talk to mom. I need to have a conversation with mom about, not like have a conversation, but what turned the tide on her buying fashion magazines. So
thanks. That's it for this episode of I Love You But. Join us next week when we discuss summer school, which I'm sure is going to be a fucking shit show. What made you laugh? What made you cringe? What did we forget? What should talk about in future episodes? We want to know your thoughts. Find us on Instagram and Threads at I Love You But Pod, or email us at iloveyoubutpod@gmail.com. That's gmail.com. I emphasized the right part, right? Listener email and comments may turn up in future episodes. Be sure to rate, review, and follow I Love You But wherever you get your podcasts. We are trying to make this better, I promise. Thank you for listening. I'm Heather.
I'm Ryan, and we wish you lots and lots of conditional LOVE love.com.